Так, где же этот находится? Так, 60 метров до Ричарда Ниттеркота. Ниттеркота, да. Пацаны, о чем спорите? Пошлете меня?
I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe
Имя
Peterson,
такое
sir,
говорящее.
but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Вопросов нету. Что вы здесь делаете? Врачей не
According
хватает?
to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Что у тебя? У тебя тоже 3? Я как-нибудь потом попробую глянуть, как,
Goodbye, Mr.
может, блин,
Peterson.
пропустил все-таки, как качать гипноз. То ли больше гипнотизировать, и он из этого качаться будет. Клейтон, Джо Питерсон, ничего не, блядь, 1500 опыта. Может, ты, Клейтон?
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
А,
I am
торгаш.
Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have
Так,
time
ты
to
мне
waste
нужен,
with
я
talk,
потом
but
с
at
тобой
this hour of the
побазарю.
night I can...
О, тут диалоги можно
Goodbye for
мотать.
now, Mr. Lewis.
Этот похож на журналиста. Очень-очень сильно.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's
Clayton,
Darby,
да.
reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me, since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Сначала лично. Нету. Спросите расследование.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Это логично со стороны людей. Но я этого не понимаю. Что люди должны всегда знать правду.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Подсказочка есть.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Вот странно, пишет, получили подсказку. И тут необходимы подсказки. То есть я, значит, ничего не получил.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt,
Interesting.
you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Так, ну, я по сути ни хера не узнал.
Goodbye, Mr.
До
Darby.
встречи.
Farewell.
Камелия. Это цветочница? А ну-ка, хочу узнать о
Good
ней
evening,
больше.
miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Молчит.
I know what you're
Понимаю?
thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary.
Понимаю, да.
A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu.
Так, она хотя бы показать бы могла, блядь. Я общался с немыми, они, блядь, объясняют даже получше, блядь, чем говорящие люди.
Very well. Goodbye then.
Сколько же здесь купонов? Так, мне нужно найти почтовый ящик. О, 4250 опыта. Хочу. Вот он. Нет. Пишет, где-то здесь найти почтовый ящик. Он? Не он. О, да, он. Мои дорогие, горячо любимые дети, мне так жаль, что у вас несколько месяцев не было вести от меня в Лондоне. Сложная ситуация, я знаю, что могу показаться эгоистом и дураком вам, мои дети, ведь вы все еще живете в стране, где идет война, но здесь, в Англии, тоже идет война. Война бедностью и несправедливостью. Это война, в которой я намереваюсь участвовать, несмотря на свой преклонный возраст. Вот почему я пишу вам сегодня в Румынию, а я не вернусь. Это означает, что, вероятно, я вас больше не увижу. Не грустите, мои милые, ведь вы уже взрослые, у вас свои дети, вы знаете, на какие жертвы нужно идти, чтобы изменить мир. Вот жертва, которую должен принести я, чтобы снова почувствовать себя нужным. Желаю вам жить долго и счастливо. Поцелуйте от меня моих внуков и помните, что отец любит вас, даже когда находится в этой холодной стране. Дариус. А говорят, нету. Вот, блять,
The content of
журналюга.
Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Хочу ли я убить его? Мне в ту сторону. А ну, по карте легче. Мне это не нужна. Мне нужна карта. Да, это нужно... А приближать нельзя, да? Карту. А нет, вот. Черт. Как же это... Тут, мне кажется, закрыто. Тут лестница. В этой области. Короче, назад. Блять. Тебя тоже извините.
I cannot
Ну,
enter.
конечно, закрыто. Тут закрыто. Да, ну тут церковь меня сюда не пустит. Магия не пустит. Я ж вампир. Церковь вампирам нельзя. Бессмысленный заход. Сюда я могу? Нет, тоже нет. Откройся. Да. А ты что здесь делаешь? Это ж церковь. Чё, совсем плохо. Ебать, вас тут наскочило. Выносливость улетает в последнее время вообще. Жуть как. Ай, блядь, кровь потратил. Это Ричард, мне кажется.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
Правильно.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Подъебал.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Мирная тишина, пока не закричит первый скаль. И тут ты уже заплачешь.
My mother loved poetry. Perhaps your words would have touched her sensitive nature. I only see a dreadful disease.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Отлично. О, отлично.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about
Что
Camellia?
под звук
Not much.
только камели.
That's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Понял.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Ну все, готовься к гипнозу.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic.
Вы безнадежный романтик,
Guilty as
мистер Скотт.
charged, Dr. Reed.
Нидер кот. Так, ну это лично было, да, про Лондон я спрашивал. Все.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
Хочу о ней сначала
I'm looking for
слушать.
Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Смотри, а он уже врет.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Все, ты мне больше не нужен, чувак. Может тебя похилить, можно
Do you
медосмотр.
need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
Средство от простуды. У меня его нету, прости.
I will see you later. I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Нихера я ногами ломаю, блин, гробницы. Пиздец.
You are blinded by your... Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Необходим второй уровень гипноз, да, это очень плохо.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Найти Дороти. Блин, да куда ж ты свалила, Дороти? То паренек. А ну вот, собственно, амбулатория. Дороти, готовь завтрак. Муж приехал. Кто-то свалила опять. Сейчас где-нибудь засяду. А она сзади меня окажется и по голове как стукнет. Нам наверх. Помогаю.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Да.
Don't question me, nurse.
Сестра,
I
не
need a
задайте
drain.
вопросов.
Now.
Давайте.
Yes, Doctor.
Блять, ты в Лондоне, какой, блять, стерильно.
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
Блять, я его сейчас убью,
The drain
пиздец,
must
и
have
мне
punctured the
херово будет.
intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Да, я проебался,
Are
походу.
you alright, Doctor?
А, пить хочу.
I can't see.
Так вот надо, иначе я его укушу.
I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Пульса нет, доза адреналина.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Блять, я еще сам лечить должен. Я ж хер его знаю, блин. Не, бесполезно. Это труп Скаль. Будущий. А говорят, ты еще величайший врач.
We've lost the pulse. He's
Стыдно-то.
gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
Цели оправдают
So, the
средства.
end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
Как тебе кажется, все так говорят.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all
Потому что
right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Глупая ты, Дороти, глупая.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Пощадите, закрой на это глаза, но поддадите в отставку. Объять. Я немедленно положу этому конец. Объять, объять, объять. Это укусить. Она шантажировала очень важную женщину. Женщина мне поможет. Блин, а мне же сказали... у меня проверка, мне нельзя ее убивать. Мне нужно решить вопрос без вот всяких, без крови.
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then.
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Есть новые горожане, которых можно убить. Подсказка не сработала. Что это? Да ладно. Вы серьезно ее грохнули? Бля. Надо было ее сожрать. Тупо опыт просрал. Все тупо погибли, ё-моё. Эх, жалко. Ладно, тогда шо с леди Эшбери в следующей серии поговорим.